In this video, I'm going to take you through 8 common reasons for puffy eyes, and some of these reasons you might not even realize are contributing to puffy eyes. Let's get started. First cause is dehydration. Yes, dehydration. When body is low on water, it can actually lead to fluid retention, which in turn leads to puffy eyes. When our body is dehydrated, our body, as defense mechanism, retains more water. Kidneys don't flush out as much water as they would if the body was not dehydrated. So this leads to water retention throughout the body. But you see, the skin around the eye, the skin on the eyelids and the skin underneath the eye is the thinnest in our entire body. So if there's anything abnormal happening behind the skin, it's actually very easily visible. So though water retains all over the body, it's more visible in the eye region, and which is what translates to puffy eyes. So drink more water. If you are on a low carb diet, which has its own set of merits, but it can also lead to dehydration. So if you are on a low carb diet, make sure you drink plenty of water. Alcohol, caffeine, all that can lead to dehydration as well. So if you do consume alcohol, let's say the previous night, make sure you drink plenty of water. Caffeine as well, if you are a coffee drinker like me, just make sure you always drink plenty of water. The second cause is more salt intake. More salt intake will lead to body retaining more fluid so that it can dilute all that sodium, all that salt. So again, whilst this fluid retention might be happening all over the body, it's much more visible in the eye area because of the thin skin there. The third cause is sugar intake. More sugar intake leads to higher insulin. Higher insulin leads to kidneys retaining more sodium, which is salt. So if there's more salt in the body, it leads to fluid retention so that the sodium can be diluted, so that the salt can be diluted. So more fluid retention again will show up more visibly in your eye area because of the thin skin there. So go slow on the sweets. I know it's an unfair world, but it is what it is. The fourth cause is eye allergies. When there is an allergy in this area, the tissue in that area will start releasing histamine, and histamine will result in blood vessels swelling up. Swelled up blood vessels means more blood flows through that area, and more blood means puffiness, which is very visible in the eye area because of the thin skin. And when you have eye allergies, don't rub that area. That will lead to irritation and will make the situation, will make the puffy eye syndrome even worse. There are antihistamine eye drops. Just ask your chemist and that will take care of this allergy situation. The fifth reason is skincare products that you might be using in that area. Certain eye creams, if the eye creams have ingredients like essential oils or fragrance or denatured alcohol, these are very nasty ingredients, especially in an eye cream. So that will irritate, these ingredients will irritate that area, and the irritation will always in skin lead to inflammation. And when there is inflammation, which is nothing but puffiness, that becomes more easily, clearly visible in the eye area because of again the thin skin. So just make sure you check the ingredients in your eye cream or any skincare product that you're applying, and just make sure that the product that you're applying doesn't have ingredients that can irritate the area. So whenever there is any kind of irritation, it's our tendency to rub it because that's our natural reaction to that irritation. Don't rub it because rubbing it will make the irritation worse, and when the irritation becomes worse, inflammation becomes worse, which is nothing but the puffiness becoming worse. The sixth reason is crying. When we cry, the tear ducts pump out a lot of tears and most of it comes out. But some of it gets absorbed by the skin cells around the tear ducts, and that makes those cells swell up. And when the cells in that area swell up, that results in puffiness, which is very easily visible again due to the thin skin. Blame that thin skin. Second thing that happens when we cry is the blood vessels there dilate. There's an increase in blood flow, and more blood flow in that area means it's all swollen up and puffiness, and that's what's visible as puffy eyes. I have another video in which which I talk in depth about the things that you can do when you get puffy eyes from crying, things that you can do to reduce that puffiness as quickly as possible. I'm going to leave a link to that video somewhere up above here. So if you're interested, please do check it out. The 7th reason is poor sleep. When we haven't slept well, what happens is the body needs more oxygen, and so we yawn, and by yawning we're triggering the brain to do something. And when we yawn, what happens is, apart from the brain getting triggered and everything, the tear ducts get triggered, and that releases some tears. And as I mentioned in the previous point, when tears are released, some of it comes out, but some of it gets absorbed by the skin cells around the tear ducts, which results in puffiness. Finally, the 8th reason is age. The skin in that area, as I've been mentioning, is very thin. So this thin skin holds on to all the fat that's behind the skin. So as we age, the skin's thickness all over our body reduces. And in this area, because it's already thin, it's going to reduce at a faster rate. And as the skin loses its elasticity and its holding power, it can't hold on to that fat so tightly. So it starts to sag, and when it sags, this fat, which was up until then in its place like this, it just starts moving around and just there is nothing holding it in place. And that's what results in eye bags, which is nothing but all this protruding fat, which was up until then held in its place. It just starts to protrude. And this eye bags also look like puffy eyes. So that's another reason, age. Remember to apply that sunscreen around the eye area, especially on the eyelids, because that will prevent the sun damage, because sun damage will result in faster aging of the skin. So these are the 8 common reasons, and there are things that we can do. Of course, we can't stop aging. It's actually a good thing if we age. That shows that we are alive and kicking. So all that we need to do is we can do things like using sunscreen and good skincare products to make sure that we are aging well, aging at the rate we should and not at a faster rate than we should. And for all the other 7 reasons, we can do things to address it and reduce the puffiness that can come from it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and do subscribe to my channel. That will really help me a lot. Please do subscribe. That will really help me a lot so that I can continue making videos like this. Thank you. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.